Hi, Simon I Breath Art here again with another little video. This time pronunciation of the alphabet. The European alphabet is derived from the sounds of the mother tongue, which in Lemurian society before the Ice Age, some going back beyond 12,000 years and back millions of years. It's recorded in Lemurian records underground and brought to light by Richard Sharpe Shaver back in the middle of last century, that the Lemurians spoke the mother tongue, or they called it the man tongue. Man being the name of our species in the universe. Not only our species, but man being the name of the mortal sons of God, of our spiritual nature in the universe. So there are men on many different planets. Let us begin. A. 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 B. 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 E. B. E. C. C. E. Now in Italian, C, the letter C, is a mixture of sounds, often, and it is in English too, but often it is pronounced ch. 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 And since in the Mantong alphabet brought out by Richard Shaver, there is no symbol for ch, I'm of a mind to equate the letter C not with the sound of an S. After all, we have an S for that, but with the sound ch. Next letter. D. 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 Tongue pressed flat behind the front teeth, right behind the front teeth. D. E. Excuse me yawning. E. E. Eh, eh, eh. Very similar to A. A, 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 A. E. Eh, eh, eh. F. The teeth on the bottom lip, on the inside of the bottom lip. And the facial expression. G. 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 H. I. 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 J. 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 K. With the back of the tongue, with the back of the tongue, at the back of the top of the mouth. L. Oh. 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 Front of the tongue, at the front of the mouth, pressed behind the front teeth. M. Mm. 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 N. Mm. 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 forcing the sound through the nose. Nose. So we see the nose is named after the end. Front of the tongue or tip of the tongue pressed on top of the mouth, again behind the front teeth. O. 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 P. E. 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 I must like P. P. Q. Qua. 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 A narrowing and then a widening. Made at the back of the throat with the back of the tongue pressed against the back of the throat. And the air forced through. Then the mouth releases it and widens. Ah. S. Tongue behind the teeth again. T. No guttural. No guttural. Similar to the D. Only no guttural in the T. D. 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 T. U. Ooh. 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 V. 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 Double U. W. 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 X. 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 interesting one. X uses the back of the throat with the back of the tongue and the front of the mouth with the front of the tongue. Y. 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 And then sometimes Y is used as a vowel. Not too sure if that's legitimate or not. I doubt very much that it is, because when it's used as a vowel, it comes out as E, as in, or I, either one, or even U, as in weird, W-Y-R-D. I, as in sky. So that can't be right. Y. There's no other letter that represents that pronunciation, that pronounced sound. Y. 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 Z. 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 Well, that's all the letters that we have in our alphabet. There are a few other sounds. I haven't even gone through the that one, which is a sound commonly used in Deutsch and Dutch. Deutsch and Dutch, very, very similar. You know, they're obviously very closely related. And I think Yiddish also has that deep guttural sounds. Yiddish is a Germanic tongue. Well, thank you for listening so far. And now I'm going to go through the actual meanings of each letter. Now, the meaning of A is the animal, the anima, or the animal. An for short. So what is the animal? It's the organic, it's the body. It's the organic existence. And in different in real language, in spoken language, sounds are used in different contexts, and so the meanings are not firmly fixed in any one tiny little thing. It very much depends on how one sound is used with another sound to convey an overall meaning. So there's quite a bit of intuition or unwritten grammar involved in any language. But basically, A stands for animal, or the anima, animation. B means just to be, to exist. It's primal existence. It's pure spirit without any form, beyond time and beyond space. So B is infinite spirit, absolute spirit, formless, timeless, just be, being. C. Now, as I said before, I'm going to go with the idea that C is not K because that's K, and it's not S because that's S. Ch. So I'm going to keep it at ch. I think in Latin, where it's still pronounced ch to this day, which in English, French, it's kind of been turned into something else. Shh, shh. There's another sound too. Shh, ch, and sh. I don't have in this particular Mantong alphabet from Richard Shaver, I don't actually have a symbol for sh or ch. But I'm going to go with C for ch. D. 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 It means to do. It's like a question mark. Do. Do. In the ancient language, in the mother tongue, in the Mantong, it means to take away, to lessen, for something to become less, for it to diminish, detract, decrease, decease, deactivate. So we still use it in its proper context a great deal today. Describe. Describe means to write something into a kind of a code. To describe it means to unlock that code. Unlock, Anyway, gets a bit complicated, a bit confusing. Modern language has become quite a confusion. E. 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 E is for energy. F was used for fecundity. Now, what is fecundity? To be fecund. It's to be able to produce a great deal. It's to be able to have a lot of children, to be very fertile. Far. At. A lot of. Fecund. G. 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 It means to gather or to, it's not pronounced properly in English, generate in English. It's been changed from generate to generate, a bit like agenda has been changed to agenda. The G and the J have been swapped around in English quite a bit, so there's a lot of confusion there. But G means to generate, to it's a bit like F. Genesis, gene, G, but it's G. It's really G. Genesis, gain, gain, a gain, get, good, God. It's a very positive, creative sound meaning. H. If you look at the letter H, it's like two I's joined together with a bridge. I. The sound is nothing like I, though, is it? So a little bit puzzled with the H. It's obviously a very punctuative sound with a quick movement of air through the larynx. No guttural, no angst. It's a very open, free. So it's a very uplifting sound. I. The eye of the storm. I means I. The identity. Dent, a dent, as in a dent in your car. I dent. The dent that the eye makes in the ether, in the energy field. The impression, identity, I. J. J. Well, according to Richard Shaver, he's got J listed as being also another sound for generate. G and J. G and J. But I think he must have got something wrong there, because they are quite different sounds. And I don't see why they would have the same meaning. He might be wrong about G being used for generate. After all, in English, we say generate, and perhaps properly speaking, it should be spelt with a J. If there's any German or Dutch students out there listening to this, perhaps you could have some input into that particular one. When it comes to other languages, I'm actually quite uneducated. I don't speak any other languages. Yeah. K. K means movement. Once again, there's a lot of movement of air, rapid movement of air through the larynx. But it comes down to us in the form of, in reminiscence, through kinetic energy. So K really means moving, as in kinetic. And the force of it. There's force. A moving object has momentum, it has inertia. When it is stopped by another object, there's an explosion. Energy of movement. L. L means life. Life, as in being alive. Now, life is an energy. There's the ordinary energy of life in terms of light, the life processes of the body, chemical processes, and the light frequencies which maintain all of that, the inflow of light. The light that's held in the chemical body. But there's also life from eternity. So L for life. There's two types of life. Just got to plug my battery in there for a moment. I'll just pause this. M is the symbol for man, not the male, not the female, male and female species. Man, the noble being. Remember B? Man, the noble being. B-E. N. N stands for child, or nini. Nini means little one, a little baby, a small child. The old saying, don't be a ninny. Another one, don't be a nincompoop. Then there was, in ancient Sumeria, there was nin, hersag. Nin, nini, n. O, orifice. origin. P, P, E. E for energy. E. What kind of energy is E? It's power. It's the power of energy. It's the force, but not necessarily kinetic force. Not necessarily involving movement. It's just static power. Q, query, question. That's its meaning. That's traditional ancient meaning. Qua, question. Qua. We find the word what in qua, quat, almost anyway. So Q for quest, to query, to question. Ah, what's that remind you of? It's the sound a dog makes when it's growling. Grrr. Grrr. And that's what it means. Scary, sort of fearful, in defense mode. Grrr. 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 And that's what it means. S, S, S. S stands for the sun. I don't know how that came about. S for sol, solar. So S in front of elf, S elf, solar elf, S elf. T, T, E. T is integration of energy. T is the positive, the construction. Building something, constructing, putting two things together. T. Letter U. And moi. You and me. So you means you, as in Y-O-U, spelt in English. V. V means vim, vitality. That vim, the vim, vitality, vibrational, vibrant. W stands for will. W means to have will. Will is from the heart. Will is the energy of the heart combined with it's that force which emanates from the heart, which causes everything to happen, things to change, energy to move around, forms to disappear, other forms to appear, all through will, the energy of the heart, the force of thought proceeding from the heart. W. X. X. Just like there are two parts of the mouth being used to make the sound, X refers, and the way it's written, like crossroads, you can do it like that, like a pure plus, or we tilt it on like this in the modern day language. But this is also X. It's a crossover. It's crossways. Cross, X. And that's what it means. Y. Y. It means the reason for something. Why. The why for. The why for. The reason. Why. Y. But it's pronounced Y. Z. Z stands for zero. Nilch. Funny how it's not really used very much in Z, but Z in zero, as in zero. Z. Z. Buzz. According to Shaver, that's what it means. Zero. And herein ends that little lesson. So I couldn't give a proper meaning for the word ch, which I think is C. C is ch. And I couldn't come up with sh. And there are other sounds also, which ooh, ooh, ooh is like ooh, ooh, ooh. So there's a variety of sounds which aren't specifically referred to by any particular letter. So quite possibly the alphabet, the original alphabet, was considerably longer than the 26 letters of the English alphabet. So Shaver's written out this from his memory, and I'd say that he hasn't grasped the whole thing. Another person who has gone into the pronunciation of the root language, as he just called it, Ior Bock from Finland. Ior died some years back now, but before he died, he went through the pronunciations and the meanings, just as I've done here in this little video. He didn't do it from Richard Shaver's work. He did it from his own historical knowledge, from his own inheritance, from knowledge that had been passed down for generations, for thousands and thousands of years through his family. The Bock family, and that's known on the internet as the Bock Saga. It's known in folklore as the Bock Saga. Check it out. Thank you for now.